started. But while we're going on with that, let's introduce everybody. And we are back. Here I am, Fly Navarro with the No BS World Tour special Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show edition. Right now, I'd like to introduce my guest, Peter Miller, with Peter Miller, It's Adventures, correct now?
Well, it's Peter Miller Fishing and his Uncharted Waters TV show. So thank you for that introduction. Fly, I got to be honest, I didn't expect that amount of energy on your intro, and you making me step my game up. I'm going to have to stand up on my toes and get all pumped up now.
That's what it's all about. We got to keep going up little by little by little, so we're all at our top of our game. So good afternoon, Peter. Tell us a little bit about right now. Today you are at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show right now. So tell us what it looks like right now at FLIBS.
Well, I got to be honest. I mean, the crowd is bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's a little overcast, a little rain here and there, but for the most part, there's plenty of people walking around. There wasn't a long line to get in, so it's kind of like almost like the perfect setup, because we know everybody wants to buy boats right now. We don't need to be crashing into each other, and everyone that's here is shopping hard. These guys are buying things because boats, fishing gear, everything related to the outdoor sports in this industry is going fast and furiously. The boat I'm standing on right now, the Invincible, the brand new 46 Cat, already has 24 pre-sold. They're 1.2 million bucks. I mean, come on, this is what it's all about. And I got a 46 in front of me. I got a 37. I got a 33. I got a 39 behind me. And the show's going absolutely incredibly well. So I'm excited to be here.
Man, that is awesome. So tell us exactly what Invincible has introduced this year during the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show.
Well, they've introduced the 33, and they've also introduced the brand new 46, which is their flagship beast of a boat. I fished on the 40, but this 46 is just next level. And then they have a 33 behind me, which maybe you can't see yet. Maybe we'll take a peek over there in a minute. And then I'm getting the 35 Cat in about 10 days, which is also similar to the 46 hull, but in a 35. So it has a similar type feel to it. And then, of course, we have the 37 on the other side of me. But again, the 46, big, giant Invincible Cat, and the 33 over there. So we have some really cool things going on. These guys, it's like family when you're with Invincible. That's one of the best things about it. But honestly, their boats are even better than that. I mean, it's incredible.
You don't have to sell me on it. I've fished on the 33, the 36s, and the 42s. So they're great boats. They're great fishing platforms. And they're a great company to work with. So that's also good to hear. Now, tell us, you say you have a 36 coming out?
I have a 35 Cat that's going to be ready in about 2 weeks. I think we might have to take a little cover. We got a rainstorm coming over. We might go under there, guys. What do you think? So you mind if we walk together?
Let's walk.
Let's walk. Walk and talk. Here we go. I'm walking and I'm talking. Let's see. I'm walking and I'm talking, and here I am in the console with dual row seating on the 46, and I don't even know how big these Garmin screens are. I want to say they're 22s. I don't even know. 24s. Yeah, we got some big Garmin screens here, and I'm undercover now. So this is the place you want to be during the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show on a little baby rainstorm. It's going to go away soon. Keeping it positive.
I want to give a couple of shout outs because we got people jumping in from all over. We got Renee from Cabo San Lucas. We got Art Hill is saying big shout out to Jeff from Invincible. I see Barefoot Sierra from Sierra Leone and Oliver Taylor from the UK is joining in. So anybody that's got some questions for Peter Miller on these Invincibles, just chime on in and let us know. So and Peter, don't get wet, man. And
no, I'm staying dry. I got a big, giant top over me. It must be, I don't know. It looks to me like 15 feet long. I'm not sure about my logistics and my numbers here, but it's big. We're staying dry.
I love it. I love it. So, so tell me a little bit about your experience so far. Is today your first day at the show?
Correct. Today's my first day.
And being that it's the first event since all this craziness has happened, what did you see when you came into the show?
Well, when I walked into the show, I got to be honest, it was super streamlined, and I had everything on my phone, my barcode. So I downloaded it, and it came in with my girlfriend, and they scanned it. They checked our temperature. We came straight in. It was super easy to get in. The traffic was super light, yet with the cars, but yet the traffic at the boat show is actually pretty smooth. There's a bunch of people, but it's not too crowded. It's kind of like the perfect setup. So my first big outing out of the house to come to the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show has been pleasant, to say the least. And when you're standing undercover, like leaning on, dual row seating on a 46 Invincible, you're winning. Sorry, I keep plugging.
No. Hey, that's what you're here for. You're supposed to be plugging. I love it. Speaking of plugs, I have one person in the queue that has asked me 3 different times to call you a superstar. So, yeah, I got Bruce Burnett online saying here to call you a superstar.
That's my boy Bruce. He's traveling around in his Panga. We got to get him in Invincible one day. That's my boy Bruce, keeping the positivity at all times, man. He's always doing hashtag superstar, hashtag my hero, and I'm always like, man, I love you, buddy. He's always keeping it positive on social media, where some other people may not even comment, but he goes the extra mile. So thanks.
He always goes the extra mile. I also have Alex from Cameroon joining in, and he's saying that is an awesome boat that you're on. So,
oh yeah, he is right, man. This boat is something else. I've been fishing on the 40 Cat, Alex, and I've been fishing on the 35. I've been on the 42V. I've been on the 39V hull, and it just keeps getting better and better. And I've never been running in the 46 as of yet, because this is hull number 1. But man, I can't wait to take this thing out. I think I'm going to steal it tonight and open it up offshore and go about.
Listen, if you steal it, I won't tell anybody.
No, nobody will know. This isn't. No one will know.
Nobody will know. It's going out quietly. I won't say a word. So, what is that new 46 powered with?
The new 46 is powered with 450 quad 450 racing motors by Mercury, and it runs like what do they say? A scolded dog? Is that how they say it? I think that's the terminology. And the beauty of the Cat, man, it just gets up on. I mean, the V hull on any boat takes a second or two. The Cat is literally like straight, and you're going and you're on it, and you'll get up to 50 miles an hour in like 7 seconds. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Man, that's pretty impressive. Now, I personally haven't ridden on a Cat boat yet. So tell anybody that's watching right now that it's not ridden on a Cat boat, could you describe a little bit what the different ride is between the regular mono hull and the Cat hull?
I think what the big difference in the ride is you're cutting through, you're slicing, because you don't have a big surface area. So when you have, like, imagine like 2 knives going through the butter as opposed to like a V going into a stick of butter. That's how I look at it. I may be using the wrong terminology, but I think that for me works very well. So it's like 2 knives cutting through a wave, so you're getting through it that much easier. That's the way I see it. And when you're on the Cat hull, the bow to me is the same. Well, not to me, to everybody, the same as the stern. So if you're fishing up here, you're fishing the stern, you're doing the exact same thing. So it's kind of like you have 2 transoms, you have 2 cockpits, and it makes the boat like super useful. And the storage is ridiculous. Everything about it is just big. It's wide. It runs well. It's fast. It gets up on plane, and it's great in a rough season. That's why I love it.
I love to hear. Now with that 46, and I know here at home, and home is South Florida to both you and I. So one of the things that's very important for us is live well space. What kind of live well space does that boat have?
Oh my gosh, they got 2 giant live wells in the back and 2 sets of tuna tubes with lids. And the tuna tubes are gigantic. They're meant for the big boys. You're taking this boat marlin fishing, you're putting out 15-pound tunas bridled out the back. So when you got the 2 tubes, and then you also have them in the floor. So we have a total of 2 in the transom. We got 2 giant sets of tuna tubes, and then we have 1 or 2 in the floor. 2 in the floor. So it's my first time on the boat. So we got 4 live wells, 2 sets of giant tuna tubes. I mean, you're set for virtually anything. And then when you get up to the coffin box area, the storage up there is incredible. I mean, you could fit 4 people in there. Just lay them in there, put them to sleep, put some ice on them, and they'll be fine. They'll wake up tomorrow all nice and chilly.
You know what? I'm laughing because I have actually done that before. When it's hot, you go hide somewhere. So Any
funny.
little bit. So while I have you on here, could you explain to everybody some of the special things that you have asked for on your personal boat that's coming out? What are some of
Okay.
the special options that you've asked for on your boat?
Okay, on my particular boat on the 35, I live in Miami, right? So I'm not running 70, 80, 120 miles. I'm not sleeping out on the boat. So for me, it's a little bit of a different setup for them, my good friends up in the Panhandle, for instance. Like these guys are running far. They're loading it down with 1,000,000 pounds of ice and bait and fish and guys and food and drinks and this and that. So I'm taking a little lighter. So I'm doing South Florida kite fishing, a more of approach. So instead of doing quads, I'm doing twin 400 Mercuries on mine, which makes it really fuel efficient. Number one, it's still going to go, mid 50s, maybe 60, depending on the load. And then I'm going to have a tower on it, which is really unique. And for me, when I'm in a tower, I can see everything, and I'm going to stay up there the entire day. And I'm basically going to be orchestrating. When you're in the tower, you're like, left short, right long, here we go, blah, 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 do this, do that, go that way. And you can see everything. And I love that. And the fact that they offer all these options, to do 4 motors or 2 motors. And based on having 2 motors, you're going to take your fuel tanks and bring them a little further back to distribute the weight. If you got the 4 motors, you're going to put the fuel tanks a little further up to distribute the weight. So you have like any option that you want, they're capable of doing. Obviously, these are kind of, this is known. Everyone knows this setup now because it's, this is what they do. But another nice thing about Invincible is they just revamped their factory. And when you walk in, you literally can hand pick, like you're on a menu and go, I want this, because they have a list of like the different materials. They have a different lights. They have the different electronics. They have the different underwater lights, and they have the consoles, the stitching, the logos, whatever you want. And you go bop, 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 and it makes it super user friendly. And everyone there is like family. You walk in there and you feel welcome. You feel like you're going to get like what you want, what you need, and you're going to get it when you say you want it. It's not going to be a 6-month, wait on what you're looking for, and you're going to get exactly what you want. And that's truly, if you couple that with a performance and the style and the feel of the boat with like a family approach and everything you want, you're winning.
And I'm glad you went into that route, because that was going to be my next question, because every different boat owner has their own things that they want on the boat, depending on what you're basing out of. And I was curious to let people know exactly how easy it is to kind of add and subtract the different things that you want on your boat. So it's almost like a menu style. You get it and you can literally check off everything you want.
Yeah. And that's kind of rare. I've never had that. I've had great relationships in the boating industry for many years, but I got to tell you, I'm like super pleased with this. And sometimes I can't even believe it's happening. I'm on the boat sitting here, and one guy's nicer than the next guy. And then the engineer comes up, and then the sales reps from Orange Beach come up, and we're talking about all these things. They all watch the shows, and then the marketing specialist, Rudy, he's always, on top of everything. You get on Instagram, you get on any social media, he's literally responded to you like before you've even typed your question. It's like he reads.
And where is Rudy right now? Is he listening?
Yeah, he's right in front of me.
Well, tell him to just stand behind you for a second.
All right, everybody. Here, how about I just flip it around?
There you go. So lower your mask for a second, Rudy, because I spent 2 days looking for Rudy and I couldn't find him.
Well, maybe it's because see him now. Yeah.
Maybe because he had the mask on.
Long hair, don't care.
Yeah, there we go. So, and you bring up a good point. You say he's on social media. So if people want to find or ask Rudy any questions on social media, what are the best places? Where should we be sending people?
I would say Instagram, on the Invincible Boats Instagram. He's going to be on it instantly, to the point where it's like, I don't even know how he's reception sometimes. He's literally like 45 miles offshore, and I see his head down. He's typing responses. I'm like, what cell service do you have? Like, I don't get it. I got Verizon. I'm done once I pass like this one lighthouse, Bowie Lighthouse. See you later. Put my phone in airplane mode so I have a little juice left to like order food on the way home.
And it's funny, he can be that fast with all that hair. That's impressive too, because usually that drag will slow you down.
He's built for speed. He uses somewhat of a, it's not a jerry curl. It's more like a slide, like a glide. We'll call it a glide.
The hairstyle's called
oh my God. It's like Soul Glow from that
Yeah,
old coming
Soul
from the old
Glow.
Eddie Murphy movie, Coming to
Oh my
America.
God, that is so funny.
I
That is
love
so
it.
funny.
I love it. So, what are some of the things that Invincible as a company has coming out in the future? And it doesn't have to be just boat innovations. Are they going to be at any other tournaments, any other events? Where can people find Invincible here in the future?
Well, I know for sure we got a little Jimmy Johnson action going on, and that's one of the biggest money tournaments down in the Keys. And I think they team up with the Hard Rock, and they have I think it's one of the biggest tournaments there is right now in South Florida. But I guess there's tournaments all over the country, all over the world that are happening. Invincible's a part of, but I know that one for sure. And a good friend of mine, JC Cleary, and his wife Sarah, fishing on the pro team, the Invincible Pro Team Remix. They're going to be there, and they have a 42 gap tower Invincible with quad motors, and they put a team together, and they are in contention to win every single tournament, just like I was back in my old days. Back
Wait
on
a
the
sec.
Get Lit.
I remember those days. You guys were taking it home just about every other week.
Oh man, I'll never forget. They're like 30 minutes left in the tournament, and we're like, man, we're 2 fish down. We're never going to do it. I'm like, there he is. Oh my God, it's a double, it's a triple, it's a quad. And you just pray, and you get goosebumps, and you come back and you take a polygraph, and you just hope someone cheated, and they did, and they get kicked out. They'd be like, sorry, you can't pass the polygraph, and I'd be like, Miller Man's coming in. I got nothing to hide. Tell me whatever you want. I got it.
Listen, I've been to way too many of them polygraph tests. It's not the fishing stuff that bothers me. It's all the other stuff.
Yeah.
I'm worried if they're going to ask me about stuff I did in my teenage and 20s and stuff.
Well, that's how they set up. They set up a constant like that. They go, all right, Peter, we're going to ask some questions. What's your name? Peter Miller. Have you ever eaten fatty food? Yes, I have. Have you ever smoked marijuana? Kids, don't listen. Maybe. Okay. And they'll do that. And they set up the baseline, as and then they go. And then all of a sudden they get into it. And then it's like from there, it's all good. But the worst part was when we won the 2003 World Sailfish Championship. That's when Red Bull had just kind of come out, and I hadn't really ever had any, and I thought it was soda. So I just kept getting Red Bull after Red Bull, and it was like 200 degrees, and I guzzled probably 6 on my way in. And we get to the thing, and the guy hooks me up. He goes, Peter, your heart's beating a little fast. I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm tripping, bro. I am
tripping. You're gonna flatline here soon.
Yeah.
Those things will kill you.
Yeah.
So how have your wait a second, I need to give a big shout out to a friend of both yours and mine. I see the madam herself, Miss Krista Evans, has joined us on Facebook Live from Hooker Electric. Hello, Trista. Good to see you.
What's up, Trista?
Great to see you here on the live, joining. And for everybody else that's been joining, I'm here with Captain Peter Miller at the Invincible booth here at the 2020 Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, which is the first boat show that's going on since the whole COVID thing has started. This is a big deal for a lot of people, not just all of us that have taken part in the boat show, but also everybody watching. Also, a big shout out to my main man, Tarzan. Good to see you. Have you checked out Tarzan on Instagram lately?
I sure have. We follow each other. Well, I follow, I'm pretty sure we follow each other. I follow, so.
Tarzan, I'm a big fan of his. At a whopping 11 years old, this guy he's going places.
Yeah, he sure is.
He's definitely going places. So
that's awesome.
Now tell me about what have the sales been like for you guys at the boat show so far?
That's a good question. I know prior to this, sales are like absolutely out of control. Rudy, I'm going to throw a question over your way. What have the sales been like prior to or at the boat show? Are there sales at the boat show, or is it more at the factory through the dealers?
We've had a couple back to 46s sold at the show. For
a couple 46s have been sold thus far at the boat show.
Yeah, could you tell?
37. Cat has an offer on it.
Could you tell him he's muffled because of the face mask? Lower it down.
Yeah, he's very muffled because he has a double face mask. He has a sports bra on over his face mask. I've never seen anything like it.
You know what it's to hold the hair
I don't know
down.
if you wanted me to say it or just to feed you the line for you to say it.
Yeah, I was trying to get fed.
I don't want to break the third wall.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be the third wall. He's like a TV guy, so he doesn't want to break the third wall. Things get weird.
You know what? He could put it up on your teleprompter.
Yeah. In my earpiece. Check. 1 2 1 2.
Check. Yeah. Check. Yeah. Go ahead. You're wide open.
Yeah.
So that, my 3 days at the show, the one thing that everybody said was the fact that they definitely saw more qualified buyers. People were coming to buy boats. And I know before the boat show, in the state of Florida right now, boat sales have been up right around 46 to 47% statewide this year.
Wow.
Since COVID's hit. And I know nationwide, we've added 10 million new anglers that we can track. And in the state of Florida, we've added 370.
Wow, those are good numbers. I didn't know that. I remember the economic impact annually for fishing was like at 125, 128 billion. I wonder what that number is going to jump to.
It's going to jump significantly. Significantly, because I know that was before this whole COVID. And I know the numbers, for me personally, I'm actually, tomorrow's our launch date. I'm publishing my first book, and it's about the events that we put on as fishermen in the country. And we're trying to cater to those new 10 million new anglers we have nationwide. So these are new people in the industry that are being introduced to fishing the very first time, and the boat sales are showing it. Tackle sales are showing it. Everything is showing it. So
yeah,
the new people that we get the opportunity to talk to right now on this podcast to let them know, oh, it looks like somebody's arm got tired and you are now holding the camera.
It's like riding the bull. I'm riding the Bronco right now.
Look,
I gotta
only one hand.
Touch it. You just gotta go like this as the thing bucks. But the nice thing is I'm on a cat, so it doesn't buck, so I can just keep it down on my waist.
Listen, you've already lasted the 8 seconds, so you win. Listen, it's all downhill from here, man.
Oh my God!
Tell us about a little bit about the weather that's going on. I see you got a good breeze, so that's very comfortable for the boat show. Tell us what people should expect if they come to the boat show today or tomorrow.
Well, right now it's actually the sun's kind of coming out a little bit. It's slightly overcast. I would say it's 80 degrees with about a 15 knot wind, and it's just, to me, honestly, it's the perfect setup for a boat show. There's a little drizzle every now and then, but nobody's running for cover. It's kind of like it goes past, and it's been a great boat show thus far, and I couldn't ask for better. I do remember past boat shows pre-COVID where I was dripping sweat by the time I even got through the line to come in. I don't even think I've broken a sweat today, except on my upper lip from my Yeti, which is just, I have to stay moisturized.
Well, listen, that's why I keep my bottle of water over here in the corner.
Yeah, likewise.
Proper hydration. That's a big deal.
That's right.
If somebody was going to the show today or tomorrow that's watching this, how can they find you and the Invincible booth?
Well, we are, if you came into the Bahia Mar, if you came into the valet area of the Bahia Mar and you walk through the valet and you get to the very end where you got to make a right or a left, make a left, and you're going to come down the docks, and we're kind of near, Boston Whaler, and we're kind of, maybe about a 2-minute walk from that main area, that main driveway, and you'll see the Invincible flags, and we got 4 boats in the water, and everyone's ready to talk to you about the boats, show you the boats, and talk about all the specs, and maybe spec one out, because these guys are really great, man. I'm being totally honest. It's very easy to sell a brand or talk about a brand when you believe in it, and when you know the people behind it really believe in it, and they're all cool. And that's what these guys are, and they're building a great machine. I just finished 7 days in Louisiana filming on Invincibles, and we were running a 42, a 40, a 35. We were going 60, 70, 80 miles an hour, and we were running out the oil rigs, catching tunas, and it was epic.
Well, at that point, you don't have to sell the product. The product sells itself.
True.
Now, with that being said, and I think we've answered all the questions, is there anything you feel that we've missed that you want to add?
Honestly, there's a couple things that, that I didn't talk about. As I look around, I look at the side dive door on these boats, right? That's an option. I say that's 100% go-to, and they have a retractable ladder that fits up inside the side that pops out, push button, comes out, gets you in the side. My boat, the 35 with the twin motors, actually has a ladder down the center of the transom, and then the ladder comes down. You take 2 steps up onto the bait well, so now I have 2 entry points, whether you're at a sandbar, whether you're diving, whatever you're doing. So I really love that fact. And I could have added tons of bait wells, and I still could plummet for more and more and more, but I got exactly what I need, and I love that. So other than that, I'd say, look for my new season of Uncharted Waters on the Discovery Channel, and you can check it out on Instagram, Facebook, the website, YouTube. So it's Uncharted Waters with Peter Miller, and we're having some really great adventures. We're not just fishing. A lot of people you find, they think fishing shows are the only way you can do a show. Let's fish, and catch fish. They want to see travel. They want to see fun. They want to see exploration, immersing yourself in the area. As you know, I mean, you've done this your whole life. And I get a lot of comments about the boat. I get a lot of comments about the food. I get a couple comments about the fish. We can catch 40 striped marlin in Cabo in a day. And they're like, okay, that's cool. But man, that food you ate, that tequila you drank, that boat you were on.
They always ask about the food, man. It's always about what you can eat while you're in a location.
Yeah, exactly. So, and when you're in Invincible and you got tuna tubes, catch yourself a big old tuna on a tuna, and you're eating that tuna, that next day while it's been brined in ice, 7 degrees colder than regular ice with salt water on it. For those of you out there who wondered, that's some cold meat right there.
That's awesome. Well, Peter, if you can just hang on right there, I want to thank you very much for being a part of the podcast and talking to everybody about Invincible and your show, and giving us the opportunity to talk to you directly. And like I said, if you can just hold on right there, we're going to sign off. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us this year at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. We're going to come at you live again tomorrow. But again, let's thank Peter Miller, and check him out at the boat show. I'm sure you can find him there. He's going to be there both days, today and tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah. I'll be here tomorrow as well. Invincible, or, you'll find me, or just send me a message if you can't find me. And, but mainly I'll be hanging with my girlfriend, Invincible, and my real girlfriend, Alessia.
Whoa. Pleasure to meet you. You know what? I wouldn't leave her very far either. I would keep her
man.
Really
you got to love that chin guard. Look at that chin guard.
That's, I'll tell you what, since COVID has started, the chins could not have been any safer. I have seen so many safe chins.
No chin goes unprotected anymore, man. That's the worst. One last thing, I flew to New York, and she said to me, she goes, Peter, listen, get on the bus instead of taking the car or whatever. And I walked up this thing on my suitcase, and I got on this train, and everybody had it on their chin. They call them mask holes instead of assholes. They call them mask holes. And I was like, look at all these mask holes. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what are you trying to do? You're trying to kill yourself, right? Like, everyone's on a crowded train. So anyway, I wear mine all the time. I try to keep it safe. I wash my hands. I got my anti-bac, and anyway, let's keep it safe. I hope everyone's safe out there, and I appreciate everyone listening, and I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me about Invincible, and I'm just really tickled, as they say, to be partnered with this great brand. I'm pumped. It was powered by Mercury's. I couldn't be better.
You got to love it. All right, everybody, thank you so much, and we will check you guys out mañana.